Okay, so after my video explaining the Flamingo incidents became pretty popular, a lot of you guys said that I forgot to talk about some other incidents and also wanted me to make a separate video explaining all the most famous incidents that I could find. So without further ado, these are the 10 most famous Flamingo incidents explained. Out of all of them, this is probably the most famous Flamingo incident there is. This incident follows Flamingo participating in a rap battle against this player named Haka 701. Before this rap battle, Haka had said some pretty mean things to Flamingo which caused him to tell her in front of everybody else in the game that he didn't like her. Haka, however, began to freak out and question how Flamingo knew her username. This was due to the fact that she couldn't see her own name in the specific game she was in, but Flamingo was able to. Flamingo said a lot of other things that only got Haka more and more scared before he eventually left the game. The Haka 701 account has not been online since this incident took place, meaning that Haka either quit Roblox or made a different account out of fear that Flamingo was actually a dangerous person. The Raulo059 incident. Out of all the incidents on this list, this one has to be the saddest one, and it followed Flamingo approaching a player named Raulo059 and complimenting their pet bird before he stated that he was going to eat it. Raulo would end up complimenting Flamingo by calling him a wappa, which is a term used to describe someone as a handsome boy or man. Because of this, Flamingo vowed to protect Raulo at all costs in the game they were in, which was basically a horror-themed mini-game game. However, Albert would end up having to go against Raulo in one of these games, which ultimately resulted in Raulo getting killed, much to Flamingo's horror. Raulo does seem to acknowledge the fact that he was part of a Flamingo video because he owns a group called Wapos XD. The Sonic Rings incident followed a player named Jensen Ackles1 showing off his earrings that he referred to as Sonic Rings to his new friend. Flamingo then went on to use his admin powers to force everyone on the server to scream at Jensen that his Sonic Rings were just earrings. This would cause Jensen to get infuriated, and the whole thing eventually ended with Albert dropping a nuke right on top of him. Jensen also seems to acknowledge his popularity amongst Flamingo's audience, judging by what the bio on his alt says. The Jake incident included a mute player named Jake randomly walk up to Flamingo for no apparent reason. It's unknown who exactly Jake was because his username wasn't included in Albert's video. What's important is that Flamingo would get annoyed and kill Jake with a sword, and coincidentally, an object or bird or something hit the side of his house a few seconds later. Because of this, many people would make jokes stating that Jake got mad after getting killed and retaliated by throwing something at Flamingo's home. In the Mouseman Jeff incident, Flamingo decided to copy the avatar and steal the identity of a player named Mouseman Jeff in an attempt to ruin his life in the server they were in. Moments after a confused Mouseman Jeff questioned the possibility of there being other Mouseman Jeffs, Flamingo changed the avatar of every player in the server into Mouseman's, scaring him into leaving. The video he was in also has an interesting comment by someone that could be or is just pretending to be Mouseman Jeff that states, "I still haven't forgotten. Every year I think of the day I first met you. You ruined my life. My brother despises me. You've ruined my family. You destroyed everything I had. I dread the fact I could have stopped you from what you did to me. I will never forget." The AirPods incident is pretty different from the other incidents because it's one of the rare times where the player seems more deranged than Albert does. This incident also took place in a rap battle game and included 4 other players and one pretty messed up one named AirPods 203040. The incident starts out with AirPods rapping against another player on stage and says something about using a pew-pew on his opponent's mom. Some other alleged things AirPods did include killing a bacon hair, throwing fists with another player on stage, and causing a girl to go missing after she rejected him. Moving on to the Maddie incident, which I think is the funniest one. After Flamingo got himself a big pair of jean shorts, he went around to show off, and everyone he walked by was amazed by his shorts and complimented them. Everyone except a girl named Maddie. This was because Albert had accused Maddie of copying his jean shorts, and everybody agreed with him. And in good Flamingo fashion, Maddie was harassed and eventually shot and killed by Albert. The late incident. This incident is taken from a pretty simple but funny moment which shows Flamingo one of those guess the thing games, and he's standing near a sunscreen eater named Late. Albert then looks away for a split second and then turns back around and is met with the beautiful face of this sunscreen eater. So yeah, pretty simple. The Google Chrome Roblox incident. This incident consisted of Flamingo approaching a bacon hair named Google Chrome Roblox who was standing by a vending machine. After Flamingo says, "This must have been made for us," to the bacon, Google turns to Albert and says the words, "vending machine," and yeah, that's it. And last but not least, we have the Amdancer Ayah incident. Many people like to describe this incident as history all over again, as it shares the same elements as the Haka incident. It involves a player named Amdancer Ayah telling Flamingo that he doesn't know anything about her personal life. Flamingo responded by telling Ayah that she's a dancer, which caused her to freak out. In reality, Albert only knew this because the word dancer was in her username, and like the Haka incident, he took advantage of this and used it to scare Ayah more and more. And those were 10 of the most famous Flamingo incidents. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers.